Surprise! We're live. We're doing the first ever Walking Dead retro review live because our schedules have been hectic and it's now Saturday and we want to have them posted by Saturday, and there's no way I'm going to have time to sit and edit it for the whole day Saturday. So you actually get a live one. So, you know, for the people that do jump in, say something in the comments. But we're here to do our retro review, which is where we're going back and rewatching all the old Walking Dead episodes. I'm rewatching. She's watching for the first time. I'm Justin. She's Jessi. Give us your Jessi zombie. I know I took that from
Jessi.
If a zombie ever was like coming through the woods, first off, I'd be freaked out. But if a zombie was ever coming through the woods and it said that, I'd just be like, take me. Just
I would
take
be
me.
like, quit playing. You
Zombie,
ain't
you
dead.
tripping. You tripping, zombie.
Zombies be tripping.
So we're going back to another really good episode. This is season 5, episode 3. It's called Four Walls and a Roof, and it was directed by Jeffrey F. January. Sounds like he should be a poet. Jeffrey F.
Or-
January.
A P-star.
Yeah, he sounds like an adult entertainment star.
Yeah.
It was written by Angela Kang and Corey Reed and originally aired October the 26th of 2014. And Jessi, I remember when this episode came out. Like, I remember I was working in radio. We had to go cover the Martinsville Speedway race, and I was staying at a buddy's house who lived closer to the Speedway than me. He didn't watch The Walking Dead. I did. So I stayed up, by myself to watch the episode that Sunday night. And it was like no one in there to like rejoice with me on how awesome of an episode it was.
Oh, that's the story of my life. I have
I'm
to watch
telling
all
you.
of them by myself.
Bro,
Yeah.
I know. Like, do you find yourself just like grab it? Because you're one of those people, and correct me if I'm wrong, but from my recollection of when we all used to watch stuff together, you're a slapper and a grabber, and like you just like, like you get into it. So I imagine for
I
you
still
to
do
not
that.
have anybody to do that with, it's pretty
You froze
pretty
up.
lonely. Am I frozen now? No, the first live is a bust. Jessi. Okay, so I guess Jessi, you froze up. Okay, so anybody? There you are. Okay, so bear with us.
Okay. You're still frozen, but I can hear you. There you are. Okay. I got you. I got you back. But yes, I'm still a slapper, grabber, screamer, yeller, all the above. That's why I have to pause the show. If somebody is there near me or with me, like a lot of times Kelly will be like, my girlfriend, she'll be sleeping while I'm watching it. And I have to like pause it and explain what's going on.
Do you ever
So I
wake
don't-
her up? Like, do you wake her up with your excitement?
I'm going to say, yeah. How could I not? I woke my daughter up one time.
Does your daughter like this? And like my daughter, side note, and then we'll get into the episode. So like you said, your daughter's really into like horror stuff. My
Mhm.
daughter's really started getting into horror stuff. So
Yeah,
does your daughter watch this show too?
she does. And I can't remember what episode it was, but I think it was the Daryl and Beth one where she was like, can we watch something scarier than this?
Yeah, I think we were all thinking that with any of the Beth and Daryl episodes.
It was scary, but not in the right way.
What's cool about this episode is it brings a close to the Terminus story. So like you might have thought that they were going to be a long-standing like threat, but I mean they ended them pretty brutally.
Yeah. I was really confused because I thought Rick and them were going to go to their camp, but they just like waited for them to come to them.
They did the old switcheroo. Like they made them think that they were good. I'm gonna tell you, this was the episode. I think it was this one when I started realizing Carl is kind of becoming a man. Because remember that like Rick and them were gone, and the Terminus people were in the they were in the church or whatever, and it's Carl with Judith, and they're kind of hiding. You just see Carl pull his gun up like he's waiting. Like Carl's ready. Like, he's not scared, hiding in a corner. He's not freaking out. Like little Carl he's ready to go.
This is what he knows. This is all he knows.
It is.
Formative years.
Childhood development. We did have to say goodbye to Bob this episode. How did that
Yeah,
make
he
you
did
feel?
get bit. He got bit, but I'm glad that he was there for like pretty much the whole episode.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah. You've been pretty spot on with your predictions because you said you thought he was bit,
mm-hmm.
and that was what he was doing. So your predictions. It's kind of hard for me to sit here and listen to your predictions and then hear the correct ones and not be like, "Have you watched this already?"
Well, I mean, it just, they hint at it and I guess I've just caught on to the flow of things, but yeah, I was sad to see him go, but when they were eating him and like Gareth, I do not like him.
Gareth.
I do not like. He's so cocky,
Yep, he's very arrogant. Very arrogant.
I hate it so much. But when Bob started laughing and explained to them that he got bit and he was like, "You're eating tainted meat," and like Bob thought it was funny. I thought it was funny too.
You want to know something interesting? So, cool fact. In the comic, Bob was not as big of a character in the comic. He was actually like an old white dude, not the Bob we know and love on the Walking Dead show. And it was actually not Bob that got bitten and eaten by it was actually Dale.
What? Dale
Like
lasted this long?
in the comics, at this point, this was Dale. And Dale is the one. They weren't called the Terminus people. They were just called the Hunters. I think it was called the Fear the Hunters was that story arc. And it was actually Dale that they had been eating. And he got bit and tainted meat and all of that. So it was actually that scene with Bob was supposed to be Dale.
Interesting.
Yep.
Well, since they killed Dale off, they had to replace with somebody because they couldn't leave that out. That was a good storyline.
Think back to Dale. How long it's been since we've had sweet Dale on the
look at him. That face.
Now imagine that fellow being the one to yell tainted meat and all of that. I mean, that would have been interesting.
I could see that, but with Bob, it was weird because he's always just so positive. And even though he was laughing, it was kind of sinister, which was weird for Bob.
Oh, absolutely. And Dragos in the comments section, that's a good point. He said this is when Rick was the most Shane. He even had the brown shirt on. I agree with the Shane thing, but I didn't even pay attention to the shirt. Like that's
Me
interesting.
either.
Yeah.
I was sitting there thinking about how savage Rick was now.
Man, I love when he tells him, and he's like, "You can let us walk out of here and you'll never see us again." And Rick's like, "I already made you a promise."
Yeah. I loved it. That was
it was
good
savage.
Scene.
It was a really good scene. And then
it was so savage. It was so savage that everybody was like,
oh yeah, it was
even his own people.
Yeah. I mean, and then you think Rick chopped him up and the rest of them beat the other ones to death, like right there in the church.
Well, when he was like, we didn't want to waste our bullets, it was just like, yeah, exactly.
But he did waste them to shoot his fingers off. We don't waste bullets unless we want to make a cool entrance, Gareth. Now taste a machete.
And Gareth was like acting like such a baby over the fingers, but you're sitting that we've seen the things he does.
Right.
And you're going to cry about some fingers? Come on.
I don't know, man. If somebody shot my fingers off, I'd probably be crying too. Like, oh God.
Yeah, but I don't know. He deserved it.
He did. Oh, he deserved it. And so you felt no sympathy for them. It's like you know their tragic backstory of like they were once a peaceful community and they did offer safety and asylum to everyone in the apocalypse, but then these bad people came in. But like when bad people come in and do bad stuff to you, you shouldn't do the same things.
Well, I was gonna say join the club. I mean, who has this not happened to? And they didn't turn into cannibals.
That is a very good point. Like I feel like somebody would try to defend Dick Gareth and the termites, I guess we could call them the termites, by saying like, oh, well, what they had went through. And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, I get that some people probably would do that, but you got to look at like Rick and them and what all they've been through. And they're not eating people and stalking people.
Yep, exactly.
So it made it kind of hard to feel bad for them.
I have not felt bad for them in the slightest because it's just like the act that he puts on. He's a psychopath.
100%. I actually really like too that the gum chewing guy died. Remember the guy that Tyrese, because we thought Tyrese had killed him, but we see here that he didn't. And I mean, I'm just glad that we don't have to put up with.
Yeah, that I don't know
No
why
more.
they decided to do that. Why would they do that? Ugh.
Well, it's realistic when you think about it. Like everybody's got realistic ticks. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's got stuff they do. And I mean, realistically, while it's annoying, it probably is how some people would be. I wonder if where do you get packs of gum in the apocalypse? Do you think it was like the same piece of gum the whole apocalypse for this guy?
I don't know, but either way, like how long does it last? Like what is the shelf life of gum? Joellen.
Look, Joellen, you don't get to just pop in the I told you next time you in the comments, you got to jump on live. So, but yeah. So tell me, like, what, as far as the 3 episodes we've seen so far, what does this rank for you? Is it like first, second, third? What do you think?
This one was my least favorite out of the season, but that didn't mean I don't like it. It just wasn't as much going on. I mean, come on. You asked a question.
I just can't believe this was the one you did. This was your least favorite. I would have said like episode 2 would be your least favorite.
Didn't I give the other 2 5s?
Oh, no. Are you going to give this one less than a 5?
I was going to give it maybe like 4 and 1/8.
That's acceptable. How are you going to do that with your fingers, though?
No. I meant 4 and 7/8.
So you're going to be like 5. Like really pull that finger.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, well. So where do you think they go from here? Bob's dead. And it was really sad. Sasha had found her boo thing in the apocalypse, and now he's no more. Did you think his death scene was sad or like his like goodbyes?
Yeah. It wasn't how I expected because like the way Tyrese, they didn't wait for him to turn, which I guess I don't know why I expected them to wait till he turned.
What did Tyrese do again?
But I thought he would be like, chaka or something, but he just slowly put it in the temple and so he went quietly.
I wish I still had like my groovy music because the way you were describing that was very sensual. He slowly put it in the temple. Well, I mean, I guess when you love somebody, though, you're probably not going to be like, I love you, Dad. Ah! You're probably going to be like, you're going to see that a lot. It's like, I guess when they kill somebody, when they kill somebody that they love, it's like real slow and all.
Yeah. But I'm surprised he lasted that long.
Yeah. What you talking about, Jessi?
She was like chika. Chika. Yeah, he wasn't like chika. He was like and it just said I'm trying to make the sound of a knife going in a temple very slowly, but clearly I can't do that.
That sounded more like a dog eating wet dog food. Oh no, did you freeze up again? Jessi is out of town right now, and I don't know, maybe I'm the one freezing up, but Jessi's out of town right now, so I don't know what the internet connection is like. She'll be back. Just give her a second. Sometimes StreamYard has to catch up. For people watching, am I freezing up or is Jessi freezing up? Like, let me know where okay, there you are. I knew you'd come back. It's like you're phasing in and out of reality.
Here. Baby, come back.
But no,
I don't know this.
What is that internet connection like? So he got good internet?
I thought he did, but now I'm questioning whether or not I was lied to.
Just go downstairs and be like, "You lied to me." Give him put on your best Rick. Go down and be like, "You lied to me."
Yeah, and so I told him about the podcast, whatever, and he was like watching it last night. He was like, you know that gun Rick carried around? I had one of those. I was like, so does Justin.
Yay! And if I didn't think YouTube would like put me in YouTube prison, I'd be happy to show it. But I'm sure if I was like, "Here's the Rick gun," they'd be banned.
They can just go look at the show.
Yep.
Look at actual Rick's gun. Okay, so I don't know what is going on with Carol. And I was
just about to say, what do you think's happening with Carol right now?
I don't know. I've been thinking about it ever since I finished this episode, and I cannot figure it out.
Yep.
What is going on?
Well, and it's like, you got, so I like that, what was this? Gareth was like, hey, she killed my mom. They wanted to get Carol. Like it was Carol's leg they wanted to be munching on because Carol killed his mom. But then he said like Bob would do just fine. It's like, but I didn't kill your mom. But
they don't care.
No.
Okay, so what are the possibilities? I can't even think of anything. She's not a zombie. Does she have zombies with her? Does she have other people with her?
You do see where like Michonne asked Daryl about Carol, and he looks in the bushes and is like, come out. And what's funny is all these people are going missing, and they're like blaming Father Gabriel. It's like this dude showed up now. He's like psychic, and it's like we know that he don't have anything to do with it, but Bob, Carol, and Daryl are all missing, and Sasha just instantly thinks it's Father Gabriel.
I mean, I would too. I've had suspicions about him this whole time, but then we find out like really what he was hiding, and it's just like that's really not that bad, dude. But what's up with the A? Did I miss something? There's an A on the.
No, so interesting fact. You're gonna see those all throughout the show, and we're still not. It's like an ongoing thing, and it's kind of. I guess I don't know if this A has something to do with the bigger story, but there are a lot of A's and B's you're gonna see and hear about as you move into these like later seasons that might tie in. It's been a while since I've been up on my Walking Dead lore. I honestly, I've failed the listeners because like I have not been reading any articles on the new shows, like anything about that. I've just been so busy, and I've just been like obsessed with The Last of Us. That show's awesome. You really need to watch it.
I've been hearing how good it is, and I'm super jealous.
I think what needs to happen, my God, you'd have to take like a whole day. But I'm telling you, I think what needs to happen is I think after the season's over with, then I think you and Kelly, whoever, need to come over and we need to watch them all. And then we can do like a post-season review. So you can like talk about the whole show. You know what I mean? I
want to do that.
Which it would probably take like a time or two because each episode is at least like an hour long and there's going to be 9 of them. So it'd be 9 hours of straight watching. So maybe come over and watch a few episodes and then in a few days come watch another few and then we'll do like a Sunday night cast.
Well, I've been trying not to have any spoilers because I do still plan on doing something. But yesterday, Joellen and our other best friend, Lindsay, were in the group chat talking about the show, and I had to like skip through all of these text messages so that it wasn't any spoilers.
Yeah, it's hard to avoid them, man. They're out there because everybody's talking about the show. It's a really good show, though. Like I think every episode, there's one episode that was a little slower, but I still loved it. Like every episode I've really enjoyed. You know what I mean? Like there's not one episode where I'm like, this episode sucked. It's one of them where it's like, not as much happened, but it was still a good episode. So I've been very happy with it.
It's balance, Justin. All about balance.
It is. Sometimes I'm the one explaining that to you on this show. You'll be like, this episode bored me. And I'm like, well,
it's so slow. I know, but I'm getting used to it. It's fine.
Michonne got her katana back.
That was a sweet moment.
That was a better reunion than the baby. That was a better reunion than Glenn and Maggie. Michonne and her katana are the real love story everybody's interested in.
Agreed. And now I can die happy knowing that they found each other again.
We can see a change in Maggie because, Father Gabriel's like, it's for, this is the Lord's house. And Maggie was really religious in the beginning, like her and Beth
Yeah.
and Herschel and all them, they did like Bible study and stuff. And even Maggie at this point, it's like it's just four walls and a roof.
Well, when you see, did she see her dad die?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
She did? Oh,
She
it
did.
was
Yeah, she was at the
Glenn.
prison.
Yeah.
Glenn,
It was
yeah,
Glenn.
you're right. Glenn didn't see Herschel die, but Maggie and Beth unfortunately had to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, so seeing as how Herschel was so religious and all about the Bible, so clearly he raised his kids that way. But like when you see someone die like that, especially somebody that has so much faith, and then it's like you have to question, like, why would God do that to him since he's been so devoted to God and the religion? So I don't blame her.
Oh yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, I mean, I could completely understand watching your dad get his head chopped off by the governor.
Yeah.
Do you read the comments on these when people comment in the comment section?
Not all of them, but I try to.
Because it's funny. People are like throwing you the most random stuff, and I love it. They'll be like, Jessi's going to lose her when she finds out it's the governor who took Beth and he's back.
I do love those.
It's like, well, the last time we saw him, he had a bullet hole in his head. And I mean, I know shows can retcon stuff, but I just don't know how you could explain a bullet. It didn't go all the way in.
There's a lot of things in this show that can't be explained by logic, Justin. So, I mean, like, anything is on the table.
You trying to tell me that zombies are not logical?
They might be one of the most logical things in this show, to be honest.
Do you want to know something that'll kind of freak you out?
Please.
All right. So not saying it's going to happen because they don't mess with mammals, but the scientists have been, and they said it long before the show, that if there was one like zombie apocalypse scenario that was the most likely to happen, it would be the Last of Us scenario where like a fungus takes over your brain.
Yeah.
And you know what's sad? So in The Walking Dead, when they turn to zombies, they legit die, and then it's just their brain stem comes back. It's not the person's gone.
Yeah.
Well, in The Last of Us, when the cordyceps takes over, they actually don't hijack your brain. They hijack your nervous system. So you are still there, still fully aware of everything. You just have no control of your body. So like imagine having to put your mom down and knowing that, like, unlike The Walking Dead, she's not a mindless corpse anymore. Like your mom's in there. Like she's witnessing it. She can still hear you. All of that. Because that's how the real cordyceps fungus works, is it actually like bypasses the brain and goes to the nervous system. So I've always thought that would be a really cool concept, long time ago when I was wanting to be a writer. That's how mine were, because I wanted it to be harder for people to kill zombies because it's like they're still in there, Mine were brain worms though, not fungus. That was a cool idea. I wish I'd have done that before The Last of Us did.
Justin, get on it.
Oh, I know. Oh, I've got Word documents from like before we even got to 2010 with like timestamps on them that can show you like a lot of the stuff.
The late 1900s.
Yeah, I wrote these in the 90s. But no, like I wrote them, like back in the early 2000s. I started writing one story just as a coping mechanism when Lost went off. I was like, I have no purpose now, so I just started writing something in my mind. Like, well, I wrote it, but it's like I was just cooking it up, I guess, to deal with not having Lost on TV anymore. But every time, anyway, that's a whole nother podcast. But every time I come up with an idea, I swear on my life, a few years later, it comes out, and I'm like, I'm running out of ideas here.
Okay.
And obviously, people are thinking of the same things.
Have you learned your lesson?
Yes. I just now need time to sit down and write something.
Well, next time you have an idea, you need to TM it.
I had one last night, actually.
Don't say it on here.
Well, I mean, all right, I'll tell you when we end the broadcast.
Okay, because somebody's going to take it.
All right. So as we wrap this up, where are we? We've got the Terminus group has been dealt with. They're gone. They're no longer a threat. Poor old Bob is no longer with us. We still don't know where Beth is. Carol's got something going on. I'm trying to think where else we are. Maggie is definitely getting harder, losing her, I'm not gonna say losing her faith, but definitely not as concerned about murdering people in a church like Father Gabriel is.
Yeah.
So where do you think we go from here? What do you think is ahead in The Walking Dead?
I guess I don't know, because they left. Glenn and Maggie left with Abraham. I guess they'll meet back up at some point. And I totally forgot that we were missing Beth again.
Yeah, it's easy to do because she's not the best.
Maybe Carol has Beth and Beth is a zombie, but I doubt it, because Carol wouldn't do that. She would kill her.
How did you like the Abraham Rick confrontation?
It was coming.
It was
coming.
actually, that's one of my favorite moments, honestly. Like, if I had a top 10 favorite moments in the show, it'd be that one, because Abraham's like twice Rick's size.
Yeah.
Like, he's a big burly dude, and I love when, Rick's like, walking away or whatever, and Abraham says what he says, and Rick just stops and he turns around and starts walking at him or whatever, and then Abraham hands the gun off and starts walking. I was like, oh, it is about to go down. Rick gonna get his tail kicked. But I love that Rick is willing to throw.
Yeah,
I think Rick could throw down with Abraham. Rick's scrappy, man. Like, he's just
Rick
savage.
could throw down with anybody. I mean, he's bitten somebody's throat out before, Justin.
Yeah, what if that's like just his go-to move now? Like, him and someone have a disagreement over something simple, and Rick just starts like, and he's like, stop.
He would have a lot of diseases.
I got the herpes.
Yeah, I got chlamydia.
Why does every disease I catch from biting out someone's throat sexual in nature?
Because that's kinky.
But yeah, I forgot all about that scene. I mean, like, as we were talking about it, I love that scene where they were just going at it, and then to broker peace, Maggie and Glenn are like, we'll go. And I'm like, no,
I don't want them to go.
We just got everyone back together. Stop trying to break up the band.
I hate it.
How far do you think they'll make it? You think they're going to go all the way to DC?
Oh, no. I think there'll be definitely some pit stops on the way.
Yeah. There's what's cool, and I think I've said this, but I'm just going to say it because I'll probably forget to say it next episode. But there is a map you'll see that shows their route to DC, and if you pay attention to that map, it goes through our town, it goes through JP's town. Like, that route would have brought them through our county. They actually, if I'm remembering correctly, they actually would have taken 58 and gotten to where you take a left onto the 360 bridge. Like, if you were coming from Riverdale to my house, you know what I mean? Like, you come down, you take that left, and they would have went straight to Richmond or like up that way, 360. So the Walking Dead people would have came right by my house, and then they would have went right. My parents live right on the side of 360. They would have went right by my parents' house.
I took that route last night.
Is that the route you took? No kidding.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Awesome.
That is awesome. But what was I about to say? What was I about to? Oh, I do think that they'll make it to DC, and I think that it'll be the finale for this season, and I think it's going to be way different than what Abraham thinks is going to happen.
No kidding. So you thinking they are going to DC, but everything is not as they think it's going to be. Like, they're going to get there, and maybe what do you mean it's not going to, like, what do you think is going to be different than what he's thinking?
Eugene thinks he's going to go. Where does I don't even understand what Eugene thinks he's going to do. What's he going to do?
Eugene says that he is a part of like a government agency that was working on the virus and all of that. And he knows the cure. And so they got to get him to DC so that he can try to reconvene with these scientists and cook up a cure to save the world.
They dead.
So you think they'll get there and all the scientists going to be dead?
Yeah. Just like when they went to, the first place where did they go?
The CDC. That's what we were thinking the same thing. I was going to say, so it's going to be like the CDC all over again.
Yeah. That's what I think.
They're going to get there and everybody going to wake up dead.
Wait a second. What is Morgan up to?
I don't know. What is it? What do you think he's up to? It seems like he's trying to catch up to the group.
Maybe Carol has Morgan. What is happening? Why did Carol have to hide from her own people? I'm literally going to go watch this as soon as we get done because I need to know.
Do you think that maybe as Maggie lost her faith, Morgan gained his faith, and now he's got a sweet old ride with a big white cross in the back window, and he's just riding around capturing Rick's people?
No.
It was worth a shot, man. And Morgan's got a thick Southern
No, I don't
accent
think
too. He'd
so.
be like, "Get in the car. It's for Jesus."
It's for Jesus. I got wine and crackers.
So, which I think I've told you this before, but and I mean, I've done a really good job of not spoiling anything, nothing like that. But like whether he's in the show or not, who knows? But there is a character in the comics named Jesus.
You told me that.
So maybe Morgan and Jesus are riding around trying to save everybody. You think that's a possibility?
If your name is Jesus, you have to have a car with a cross on it.
If your name is Jesus and you don't save anyone at any point, you're a fraud.
If your name is Jesus and you go to prison.
My thought is like, I could imagine Jesus, like somebody's falling. They're like, "Help me, Jesus." And he's like, "I can't." And it's like, you're a fraud.
You're a fraud.
Or like as he swings in and saves people, like he pulls her up and she's like, "Thank you." He's like, "Remember, Jesus saves." And then he like runs off.
If he can't walk on water, he's a fraud.
No kidding. Let's see. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know, Jessi. What do you think? The live reviews are way easier because I don't have to do a lot of editing, and if I actually come off of it and pay for StreamYard, I can put pictures and video clips to play while we're podcasting, so it'll be very similar to the edited ones. It'll just be a whole lot less work on us. So maybe we should just try. The only problem is like Saturday mornings, there's no guarantee that we'll both be free. You know what I mean? But we could definitely try. I mean, I guess Saturdays where we know we're going to be free, we can just get up early and do a live stream.
Well, I usually don't have my little person on Saturday mornings. So I should be able to do it, if nothing's going on that day, like parties or whatever.
I'm down then. Let's just try. Let's just say then, since we're doing these on Saturdays, let's just see. And you and I will still, I don't know how we'll do that because I still want to have some early content for the Patreon people. I'll figure that out. But yeah, we'll definitely start trying to do at least a live stream every Saturday of it. Something that makes it a lot easier on us.
All right.
So we're sweet.
5 seasons in and we're still figuring it out.
Yep. Hey, I mean, well, when you get to be an adult, man, and schedules and jobs and kids, it gets hard. It's something simple as getting together to podcast is not always the easiest thing.
No.
So we'll figure it out. But thank you so much for hanging out with us. Let us know what you thought about the episode, and we will be back next Saturday. Probably live stream, but if nothing else, if we know we're tied up on Saturday, then we can record it like normal, and I'll just edit it and post it. So at least there's something. But don't forget to check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/thepodcastingdead. Super thanks, super chats, all of that good stuff helps out a ton. And make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff so we can get Jessi some better internet. But before we go, Jessi, let's get the official rating. Rate the episode. 3, 2, 1. I'll give this one a 5.
Whoops.
I love this one. So that's your visual representation for 5 and 7/8. No, 4 and 7/8. Sorry.
4 and 7/8.
4 and 7/8. Okay. All right, that's good. 4 and 7/8 is good. It's not like you gave it a 2 or a 3 or something.
I just didn't like it as much as the other 2, I think. But
it is hard to beat the premiere. The premiere was banging.
Yeah. But I mean, I still loved it. It was really, really, really good.
Well, for the Podcasting Dead, I'm Justin.
I'm Jessi.
And we'll see you soon. Adios. Goodbye. Sayonara. All them good things.